Radio Golf by August Wilson. Tonight, playing Harmon Wilkes.
Donald Henson.
Playing Mamie Wilkes.
Debbie Workman.
Playing Roosevelt Hicks.
Ralph McCain.
Playing Sterling Johnson.
Douglas Wade.
Playing the elder Joseph Barlow.
Sean C. Turner.
The setting, the Hill District, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 1997. The Office of Bedford Hills Redevelopment, Inc., a storefront on Center Avenue. Scene 1. The lights come up on the Office of Bedford Hills Redevelopment, Inc. There are unpacked boxes scattered about. Mamie Wilkes enters and takes in the office. Harmon Wilkes enters with his arms full of boxes.
This is it. This isn't anything like the way you described it. This stealing's what you were so excited about?
Look close. See the embossing on the tin? See those marks? It's all hand tooled. That's the only way you get pattern detail like that. That tin ceiling's worth some money.
Then take it down and sell it. At least put some new paint on it. I wouldn't want to do business here.
This is a construction office. It's not to impress anybody.
Your campaign office cannot look like this.
I'm going to put the campaign office in Reese's old wallpaper and paint store up on the corner of Center and Kirkpatrick. It's got a lot of windows. People can see inside.
We decided to open your office in Shadyside. What's wrong with Shadyside? Right there on Ellsworth where that old bookstore used to be? That's got a lot of windows too. What's wrong with Shadyside?
I'm from the Hill District.
The population of the Hill isn't but 3,500 people, and it's hard to get them to vote.
You don't understand. Politics is about symbolism. Black people don't vote, but they have symbolic weight.
That's what Thomas Brown said when he ran for mayor. You see what he's doing now, fixing parking tickets.
I have a plan. Thomas Brown didn't have a plan.
I have a plan too. My plan has your campaign office sitting in Shadyside. You don't want to start out your campaign excluding people? And how am I supposed to get the TV trucks to come up to the Hill? They won't drive up here until there's been a shooting.
This is what puzzles me. You have every step planned out for what you have to do to be mayor. But when you do something simple like go out to dinner, you can't make up your mind what to eat. Then whatever I order is what you end up eating.
I need that copy of your speech to get to the Post-Gazette. They're anxious to publish it, but they need it by Wednesday. They want to run it in Sunday's paper, and they need to take a photo of you on Tuesday.
I'll check my schedule with Dina.
I already spoke with her. You're free at 11.
Roosevelt Hicks.
Where'd you park at? Where'd you park at?
There's a lot next door.
No. I gotta see my car. Those niggas be done stole my hubcaps.
What hubcaps? You don't have hubcaps. They quit making hubcaps in 1962.
That's what I'm saying. They'll get mad there aren't any hubcaps and steal the wheels. One man asked me for $5. I told him I'd give him $5, he'd watch my car. He wanted to know how long I'm gonna be, like he got something to do. He's just lazy. Ain't gotta do nothing but stand there and keep the rest of the niggas from stealing my tires and my radio. He worried about how long I'm gonna be.
Park in the lot, you won't have any problem.
I can't see the lot from here. I told you, I gotta watch my car.
Morning, Roosevelt.
Hey, Mamie, you heard anything from the governor yet?
I told his office I wasn't available until after our campaign. I don't want them to think I'm too available. If they find out I'm too excited about that job, they'll determine I must not be qualified.
The governor's press representative. Where do you see this? I picked it up from the architect.
Where's the Starbucks? Don't tell me they're gonna put it inside the Barnes & Noble.
No, it's right there on the other side of Whole Foods.
That apartment building turned out nice. Putting the garden on the roof really works.
That was a good idea you had.
I saw it in a magazine.
It's still a good idea. I don't care if it was in a magazine.
What's that? Why is it still called Model Cities Health Center?
Our board hasn't voted yet. We vote on the name change next meeting.
I talk with most of the board members. I know their vote. They're going to change the name.
I'm voting it should stay Model Cities Health Center.
Sarah Degree was the first Black registered nurse in the city. Naming it after her fits perfectly.
Model Cities Health Center has been around for 22 years. The organization has some history in the neighborhood. Nobody knows who Sarah Degree was.
That's why the health center needs to be named after her, so we remember.
I mean, that's nice. And I understand the sentiment, but it's just not practical to throw all that history away.
Roosevelt puts up a poster of Tiger Woods on the wall. Harmon picks up the phone on the desk.
Hey, Dina. Harmon here. I need you to get me into the health center's next board meeting. Get me in to speak with the board before they vote on the name change. Move whatever you need to in the schedule. Yeah. Roosevelt just brought the rendering, but call and tell them we need a new one. Have it say Sarah Degree Health Center instead of Model Cities. No, that's it. I don't know the number. All right, wait a minute. Okay, 391-7795. But the phones aren't hooked up yet. I'm hearing myself. Right, thanks.
What you think Tiger makes a swing? I wish Nike would buy a piece of me.
Harmon, I need that copy of your speech.
What's this I hear about them putting your speech in the paper?
I got the Post-Gazette to run it on Sunday. They're taking his picture too.
That's all they're talking about down at the bank.
After his speech, some woman who goes to the annual breakfast meeting of the Chamber of Commerce every year said to me that Harmon was the first invited speaker who actually had an idea about developing city commerce.
All I want to know is, when you become mayor, can I get an office right next to yours? Make me some kind of advisor or something? I wouldn't mind having an office in Mellon Bank and at City Hall.
Make sure they get your approval if they want to edit anything.
Of course I will. Oh, I gotta go. I have to go over to Three Rivers. I'm covering a big photo shoot of Al Frank for Sports Illustrated.
See if you can get me an autograph back.
Harmon, don't forget, we're going to Marcy and Jim's tonight, 6 o'clock.
Remind me to take Jim one of these cohibas I got in Costa Rica. I hadn't smoked any of them yet.
I hope for you it stays warm out tonight. Marcy's not gonna let you stink up her house either.
Amy exits and Harmon holds up the rendering.
I don't know how Model Cities got on there. It should say Sarah Degree Health Center.
Not going to say anything if the city doesn't declare the Hills District blighted. How are we going to do this if we don't get the Fed money?
What are you worried for? The feds are ready to fund the project, and the city's not going to mess that up. They're not going to pass up $5 million, even if it's for a minority redevelopment. They're going to declare it blighted.
We're out $200,000 ourselves if they don't. That's real money out of our pockets. We paid for the architect fee, contractor's holding fee, surveyor's fee, the demolitions fee. It costs $5,000 just for the building permits. That's coming out of our pockets. This shit shouldn't have to be taken care of should have been taken care of months ago.
Well, you know it takes 6 months to get the street light replaced.
If the blight doesn't come through in 6 months, the bank will have the keys to my house in Arlene's New South. I'll have to drive Arlene to work and rent a house from you. And they'll have to fight me over my Lexus. I can't afford 6 months like you.
City council has to go through all that bureaucracy, but it'll come through. Any fool can look around here and see that the Hill District's blighted. Herm's on top of it.
He's not but so much on top of it. The other city councilmen still want to shake Gordy's hand. It's him that's holding it up, Gordy with his do-nothing ass. When the newspaper started calling them do-nothing Gordy, that's the only time they ever got anything right.
Everybody knows the Democratic Party is looking to dump Gordy. When I announce my candidacy at the groundbreaking ceremony next month, you'll feel the ground shift and the wind will start blowing our way. Once the party's behind me, all the city council will be in line to shake my hand. See how fast the Hill District's declared blighted then.
I trust you on that. Just don't forget, get me my office. I see you still got Raymond's trophy. I remember you had that in our room at school. Sorry I never met him.
How's that golf camp going?
Oh, I signed up 2 more kids last week. That makes 18. See, I just want these kids to know what it feels like to hit a golf ball. I hit my first golf ball, I asked myself, where have I been? How did I miss this? I couldn't believe it. I felt free, truly free for the first time. I watched that ball soar down the driving range. I didn't think it would go so high. It just kept going higher and higher. I felt like something lifted off of me, some weight I was carrying around and didn't know it. I felt like the world was open to me, everything and everybody. I never did feel exactly like that anymore. I must have hit 100 golf balls trying to get that feeling, but that first time was worth everything. I felt like I had my dick in my hand and was waving it around like a club. I'm a man. Anybody want some of this? Come and get it. That's what the best feeling in my life.
That what gets you hooked.
That's why I keep my golf clubs in the trunk of my car just in case I drive by a golf course. I keep looking for that feeling.
Yeah.
That's what I want these kids to have. Give them a chance at life. I wish somebody had come along and taught me how to play golf when I was 10. It'll set you on a path to life where everything is open to you. You don't have to hide and crawl under a rock just because you're black. You feel like you don't belong in the world.
Harmon's cell phone rings. He answers it.
Hey, man. What man? What house? The house on the development site? Yeah, we'll do something about it. All right, thanks. I'll talk to you later. That was me. She was driving by the site and saw a man painting that house.
Why would somebody paint that ugly house?
She said a man was painting it.
There's a big sign on it saying we're tearing it down the first of the month.
Maybe he can't read.
That's the damnedest thing I heard. I'll walk up there and see what's going on.
Yeah, and tell him not to waste his paint.
Roosevelt exits. Harmon stares at the walls. He picks up a poster of Martin Luther King Jr. and hangs it on the wall. Sterling Johnson enters.
I've been waiting for this office to open for a long time. Now, I do construction work. I'm looking for a job. Hey, Harmon Wilkes. Hey, remember me? Sterling Johnson. We used to go to St. Richard's School together.
Sterling Johnson.
Hey. Remember that time I punched you in the mouth? I was punching everybody in the mouth back then. It felt good. I was mad at everybody. I don't do that shit no more. But you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Why didn't you punch me back? It wasn't nothing but some fisticuffs. Raymond punched me back. Hey, man, I was sorry to hear about Raymond. I felt like crying when I heard that. Somebody told me, say, Raymond Wilkes got killed in Vietnam. Well, that made me feel real bad. You remember Raymond and me, we used to play together. We used to play cowboys and Indians. Roosevelt didn't like to die. You say, bang, you're dead. Raymond would say, you missed. We used to argue over who was going to be the Indian. We used to take turns. Yeah, I miss Raymond. We was on a football team together. Didn't nobody throw a football like Raymond. He threw the perfect spiral. Raymond told me he was going to go to Grambling. I was looking for him to make the pros. Next thing I know, somebody told me he got killed in Vietnam. You didn't go to Vietnam, did you?
I was in school.
Yeah. Well, I was in jail. You know I robbed the bank. Don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I heard.
People think I'm dumb because I robbed that bank. I just wanted to know what it was like to have some money. Seemed like everybody else had some. I said, let me get some. So I robbed that bank. I had some money. It didn't make me smarter. It didn't make me better than anybody else. You know, you can't do nothing with money but spend it. After that, you back to where you started from. Then what you gonna do? Well, I found out I was looking for something that you couldn't spend. That seems like the better of the two. To me, everybody's got their own way of looking at it. But if you ask me, I'd take something you could spend over money any day.
You do construction work?
Yeah, I got my own business. They say you fixing up the build around here. That makes sense. It's how your family is in the real estate business. Say you're gonna build a supermarket and put in some apartments on that site up on Wiley.
Yeah, we're gonna bring the hill back. We're gonna rename it Bedford Hills.
You gonna bring it back? It's dead. It takes Jesus Christ to bring it back. What you mean is you're gonna put something else in its place. Now say that, but don't talk about bringing the hill back. The Hill District dead.
We're gonna bring back the whole area. Get some houses and some stores and shops. We're gonna rebuild the whole neighborhood. You say you do construction work?
Yeah, I fix houses. I know how to do anything. Sometimes I got to borrow some tools, but I know how to fix anything.
Where'd you go to school? Did you go to Connolly Trade?
I went down there and they told me they didn't have no openings. Asked me that I want a job in the cafeteria. Shoot, I told them to kiss my ass. I didn't know what to do then. Mr. Jackson say, pick up that hammer and come on. Now, Mr. Jackson was in the union. And he taught me how to be a union man. He say, you're gonna learn, you may as learn right.
Do you have a resume?
Well, go on up there on Bedford and look where I fixed that porch. I fixed up a house around Webster, 1615. Go look at that. Almost everything you see fixed up around here, I did it. I do good work. Go around the Bedford and look at that porch.
Roosevelt enters.
Hey, Roosevelt, this is Sterling Johnson. He does construction work.
How you doing, my man? We can use someone like you. We can put you to work. We can make an opportunity for you. I know it's a hard world. It's hard for everybody. But if we stick together, we can do it. We can use a man like you.
How much you paying? I'm a union man.
We pay union wages to qualified union members.
When do I start?
We'll be getting things started real soon. Do you have a number where we can call you?
I got one this week. I don't know about next week. You got a pencil? I ain't got no pencil. 365-8216. You got that?
Yeah, we'll call you, Sterling.
They shake
Well,
hands.
Well, call me before the phone company cut off my phone.
Sterling exits.
Was there anybody up there?
Yeah, there was somebody up there.
What was he doing?
He was painting the house.
What color?
You think it's funny. I don't think it's funny. I think it's sad.
It is funny if you stop and think about it. Somebody actually painting an abandoned house. Did you tell him we own that house?
Yeah, I told him.
What did he say?
He said he didn't care. He kept on painting the house.
Who is he?
Damn if I know. I couldn't get no sense out of him. He don't know how to answer a simple question like, what's your name? He'll make that complicated.
Why is he painting the house?
He say it's his property. I told him that was our property and that it was slated to be torn down. That went right over his head. I asked him, where was the deed at? He said, it was on record downtown.
That house has been abandoned for the past 12 years.
I told him he was defacing private property, and if he didn't stop, I was going to have him put in jail. He told me to go to hell.
How did you leave it? Did he stop painting the house?
When I left, he was sitting down resting, had the paintbrush in his hand. He said he gets tired quick. I told him I was going to send the police to make him stop. He started laughing. Now, you think anybody who has some sense would understand what that means? That means you going to jail. He laughed at me. I want to see if he'd be laughing when the police go by there.
Well, the police will make him stop. Then they'll probably go paint somebody else's house.
I got to run back to the bank, pick up my new business cards. I got my promotion, and they don't have cards. My boss told me to forget. My boss told me he forgot to order them. They're supposed to be ready this afternoon. I don't have no cards to pass out on the golf course. Without them cards, they'll think I'm a caddy.
Roosevelt exits. The lights go down on the scene. Scene 2. The radio is on in the office. This is WBTZ in Pittsburgh, running at the hot end of your dial. Ouch, don't touch it, it'll burn you. The lights come up on Harmon, displaying the revised rendering. Elder Joseph Barlow enters.
You know what I could find in the Christian people?
Fine, who?
Christian people. I'm looking for some Christian people.
Oh, they all over. Look around. Everybody you bump into is probably a Christian.
I can't find any. They told me to go down to the mission. I went down there. Missionaries were drilling holes in cups. If you broke one of their rules, they drilled a hole in your cup so the coffee run out the bottom. They had a couple of men standing around trying to plug up that hole with their finger. I say, I'm in the wrong place. You don't mind if I sit, do you?
No, well, go ahead. What can I do for you?
My dog died.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Cost me $300 to bury her. $300 for a dog? Used to be you could bury anybody for $300. Don't care if he was the doctor or president. $300 would put anybody in the ground. They told me to call the dog pound. Said they would take her away from me. I figured she done served 2 masters. She deserved a decent funeral.
You did the right thing. A dog is honest company. A dog doesn't pass judgment. A dog will stick with you no matter who you are as long as you feed it.
That was 8 years ago, April 4, 1989. I ain't forgot about her.
All right. I got a lot of work to do here. I got a stack of bids to go through.
Are you a lawyer? I need a lawyer. I'd go see the gypsy if I knew where to find one.
This is a redevelopment office. You have to go down to Hill House. They'll help you get a lawyer down there.
Somebody sent me by here. Said you was a big man. I always wanted to be a big man like you.
I ain't a big man. I'm going to run for mayor. If I win, I'll be a big man.
Ain't gonna let no black man be the mayor. Got too many keys. The mayor got more keys than the janitor. They ain't gonna let you have that many keys.
Look, if you want a lawyer, go down to Hill House. Tell them I sent you. Tell them Harmon Wilkes sent you.
I know you. You one of the Wilkes brothers. I knew your daddy. I knew your brother. You had a brother named Raymond, a twin brother. Everybody know the Wilkes twins, Harmon and Raymond Wilkes. You probably got the place. You probably got places to go and people to see. That's what I told my mama when I left home. And I seen some places, and I seen some people. I seen Muhammad Ali in Louisville, March 5th, 1978. I left Nashville with $46.84. Ended up in Louisville for $186. I ain't gonna tell you how that happened. I thought I was a rich man. That was like a perfect day. A perfect day is the saddest day. You know why? Because it has to come to an end. And I've had many perfect days, and I thought they were gonna last forever, but they all come to an end. The only problem is you never know you're gonna have another one. I had a little old ride. I had a nice little old ride on that $168 till I ended up broke in the poorhouse. I've been in the poorhouse ever since. You got green money, but I never did turn my money green. That's just the way it turned out, but it could have turned out another way. You sure you ain't a lawyer? I need a lawyer like you. Well, we got a nice rapport.
What you need a lawyer for? They have some good lawyers down at Hill House.
They had me charged with fraud, tried to put me in jail.
Oh, what did you do?
I ain't do nothing but walk the dog.
No. They weren't going to put you in jail for walking a dog. They were going to put you in jail for fraud.
Because Mr. Douglas died. Mr. Douglas was a blind man. He lived downstairs from me. He had a dog named Cindy. And when he died, Cindy ain't had nothing to do, so I let her leave me around just so she'd be happy. He tried to put me in jail for being a fake blind man. I didn't do nothing but walk the dog. I will tell you the truth. The sun was shining, so I did put on some sunglasses.
Did you solicit money from anybody?
You know, that's a $10 word with a $5 meaning. I never asked nobody for nothing, but the people give me all the time. They didn't want to see me for nothing. They didn't want to see me want for nothing. They've been giving me for years. I used to go around singing songs, and the people like that. They take care of me. If I had my guitar, I'd sing one for you. But since it's in the pawn shop, it's been in the pawn shop since January 22, 1970.
I can't help. You have to go down to Hill House.
Is you really running for mayor? They ain't gonna let you be mayor.
Look, this is 1997. Things have changed. This is America. This is the land of opportunity. I can be mayor. I can be anything I want.
But you got to have the right quota. America is a giant slot machine. You walk up and you put it in your coin and you spit it back out. You look at your coin, you think maybe it's a Canadian quarter. That's the only coin you got. If this coin ain't no good, then you out of luck. You look at it and sure enough, it's an American quarter, but it don't spin for you. It spin for everybody else, but it don't spin for you. The machine spit it right back out.
If you don't take all the quarters, you fix it. Anybody with common sense will agree to that. What they don't agree with is how to fix it. See, some people say you got to tear it down to fix it. Some people say you got to build it up to fix it. Some people say they don't know how to fix it. Now, some people say they don't want to be bothered with fixing it. You mix them all into a pot and stir it up, and you got America. See, that's what makes this country great.
Yeah, I say get a new machine. What you say?
We fixing it. We're going to redevelop this whole area. We'll get the Hill District growing so fast. People from all over will start moving back.
If you do win, man, they're going to change the rules and only give you half the keys. You know that, don't you?
Now I'm going to have all the keys, and they're going to have to make some new ones. We're going to build up everything. Look at this. We finally got a supermarket in the Hill District, new apartments. The Sarah Degree Health Center. Do you know Sarah Degree was the first Black registered nurse in Pittsburgh? This is just the beginning.
You want to put up some lights and on a Kennard Field?
We're going to put a golf driving range up there and make it part of the City Parks project.
You need some lights. Kennard Field, the only football field in the city, ain't got no lights. The city said they ran out of electricity. That's what they say in 1952. I could still run up and down the field then. You gonna put up some lights there?
You don't need any lights. All the parks close at dusk.
See, you ain't even got to be mad. You acting like one. The first word come out your mouth is no. People been waiting 50 years for some lights. Why can't we have some lights? Everybody else got them. They had some kids go blind playing up there at night with no lights. They started going blind in 1959. The people been trying to get some lights up there since 1952, and they ain't got them yet. I'm gonna die, and they still gonna have no lights up there.
There's nobody using the field now except for a few kids.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't want to go blind. If you put some lights up there, the people will come. They ain't gonna come for nothing, but you put up some lights and watch the people come from all over. They'll be dancing. They're gonna throw big parties. You put some lights up there, and the people will hang out. The people will hang a picture for you in their living room. Picture of you in their living room.
You teach the kids how to play golf and they'll have all the rules they need to win in life. You ever play golf?
Don't you need some grass? Ain't no grass around here. Archie had a golf club. He used to carry it around with him in case somebody messed with him. That's the only time I ever seen a golf club. I asked myself then, what good was it? Time Archie drew back to hit somebody, they be done stabbed him 5 times.
Look here. I got to get back to work.
Is you gonna be my lawyer? I need a lawyer like you.
How come you don't want to go down to Hill House? You got something against the lawyers down there?
I hate to go down there. They tell you, sit over there and wait. Fill out this paper. Turn over. Jump up and down. I tried to tell them I wasn't no dog, but they wasn't listening. Told me to go down to the animal rescue if I wanted a license from my dog. I told them I wanted to see a lawyer. They told me, fill out this form. Sit down over there and wait. Turn over. Jump up and down.
Roosevelt enters.
What you doing here?
I'm talking to this gentleman right here. He's my lawyer.
You should be in jail for facing private property. You're gonna need 2 lawyers. Harmon, this is the man who was painting the house. Try and get some sense out of him.
You were painting the house up on Wiley? Why were you painting the house?
My daughter said she want to live there. I was fixing it up for her.
I told you we're tearing down the house. That's abandoned property. That house belongs to Bedford Hills Redevelopment.
That's my house. I got the deed on record down at the courthouse. My mother put it down there in 1925.
You going to jail. They got a senior citizen jail near Harrisburg. That's where you be heading, to facing private property. What the police tell you?
They say, how you doing, sir? If anybody mess with you, just call up, sir. We're here to serve and protect. That's what they say on their cars, serve and protect. They must have thought I was a white man.
You know what I'm talking about, Harmon? What's your name?
I'll take the Fifth Amendment. I know my rights.
Do you know your name? That's the question.
I don't know yours. If I knew yours, maybe I'd tell you mine.
Roosevelt Hicks.
Pleased to meet you.
What's your name?
I ain't got to tell you. If you was the police, I had to tell you. I know my rights. If my lawyer asked me, I'd tell him. But I ain't got to tell you nothing.
What's your name?
Harmon, you can't get no sense out of him.
My name is Elder Joseph Barlow. But the people call me Old Joe. They've been calling me that since I was 10. Mama called me Old Black Joe, but I didn't let nobody else call me that. I ain't never ran into anybody that special.
What did the police tell you?
They said they was going to charge me with vandalism for painting my own house. They gave me this.
Answer Harmon a complaint summons.
That's why I come by here to get me a lawyer. If you was a Christian, I figure you see that I was falsely accused like Jesus Christ. And maybe you wouldn't charge me as much. I can't pay but so much. Don't care how much you charge, but if you only charge a little bit, I can pay you all of it. That way I won't be in debt.
Did you stop painting that house?
Yes, sir, I stopped painting it. It's a lot of work and I get tired easy. The policeman told me to stop and I stopped.
All right, I'll call down and see if I can get this summons dismissed. Sergeant Griffin, please. Harmon Wells. Hey, Jimmy. Thanks a lot. Yeah, they're gonna They're going to run it in the Post-Gazette on Sunday. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Listen, I need to get a summons complaint dismissed on a man who was painting the house on the site at 1839 Wiley. A misdemeanor summons. Number 201E6594. Elder Joseph Barlow. Yeah. Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
Harmon Terrace up
I
to summons.
knew you was a big man. What I'm going to tell my daughter? She said she wants to move back in my house.
Tell her she has to move somewhere else. She should be able to find a place. Have her go up to Wilkes Realty on Center and Heron and tell them that I sent her.
Everybody knows Wilkes Realty, right up there on the corner there. I used to know your daddy. Now, I ain't going to say nothing about him. My mama told me if you can't say nothing nice about somebody, don't say nothing. Your daddy was a big man like you. He didn't have no truck with the little man. He always drew the line like that. He put the little man on one side and the big man on the other. My mama said everybody on the bed or everybody on the floor.
Now, look here, Mr. Barlow.
You can call me Old Joe.
Look here, Old Joe.
What do I call you?
You can call me Harmon.
I remember you when you was a boy. You just see you riding in the car eating nice. Everybody else was walking.
Look here, Old Joe. I called down and had the summons dismissed. If you still feel you need a lawyer, go down to Hill House. Your daughter will have to find someplace else to live other than the house that we own.
What about my deed? It's got my name on it.
Roosevelt Terrace through some files to find the demolition order. He hands it to Old Joe.
Property at 1839 Wiley is owned by Bedford Hills Redevelopment and is slated to be torn down the 5th of the month. Can you read? This is a demolition order. It says right there, anybody painting it is trespassing and defacing private property.
You act like you a rooster. You king of the barnyard. You strut through the barnyard during the day, and at night you roost up high on the rafters. But when you get to the bottom of it, a rooster ain't nothing but a chicken.
Hey, look, old man. You don't own the house anymore. That's what the man is trying to tell you. That can't be that hard to understand.
I got my deed on record at the courthouse.
Well, go down there and get it. See what they tell you. They'll tell you the same thing we're telling you. Now, we busy here. We got work to do. Go on down to the courthouse and tell them that down there.
Roosevelt goes to the door and holds it open.
My mama taught me manners and she ain't taught me nothing else. You're supposed to say, have a good day.
Go on now, we're busy. I don't know how you put up with him. I ain't got no patience for that kind of shit. That man is crazy. I don't understand why you called and had the summons dismissed.
The man hasn't done anything but waste his pain. Come the 1st of the month, it'll be a pile of bricks.
Hey, Harmon, guess what? I got a call from Bernie Smith. Invited me in on a round. Wants me to complete his foursome on Friday.
What does he want?
I ain't there yet, but playing golf with people like Bernie Smith will get me there.
Do you read the newspaper? The fallout over that Duquesne light deal's just beginning. Bernie Smith's got 17 people suing him.
He's got that many people suing him, he must mean the man's making some money.
Watch yourself.
Roosevelt takes out his business card.
Look at this.
Roosevelt Hicks, Vice President, Mellon Bank. This is long overdue. Now you can afford to take me out to lunch.
That's the second card I gave out. I gave the first one to John Albrecht, but he won't forget I'm a vice president at Mellon Bank. He's still pissed it came from above him that he had to promote me. He had somebody else in mind. Wait till Bernie Smith sees that. This is the big time. Nothing but blue skies. Ooh, blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. I never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things.
Roosevelt suddenly notices something out the window and bolts for the door. The lights go down on the scene. Scene 3, the lights come up on Harmon and Mamie in the office.
You can't cut that. How can you cut that from my speech?
I thought you wanted to be mayor, Harmon.
I call the Post-Gazette myself. It goes back in.
You want to be mayor, you better start acting like one.
They can print the whole speech or nothing at all. This is bullshit.
I'm not wasting my time on your campaign if you're not committed to winning this. I'm sacrificing my business, giving up my clients. Harmon, we've worked too hard.
I'm not running to be the police commissioner's mayor.
We need him at the groundbreaking ceremony. Do you understand how important this is? If the commissioner doesn't come, we throw away our police support. Then we lose the firemen and the labor unions will start to worry. Who wants a mayor who can't protect the city? Commissioner Bell needs to be at the groundbreaking and you're going to have to play it. Smile, shake hands. Let the commissioner get his picture with you holding the silver shovel.
I won't, under any circumstances, take back what I said.
You don't have to take it back. Just keep it out of the paper. Right now, we don't need it in print. After you get elected, then you can say all that stuff.
Stuff? What stuff? All you're hearing is stuff? An innocent man gets shot by the police and the officer gets away with it and he gets a promotion?
That was 3 years ago, Harmon. All the people hear is, oh, that guy's still hanging on that? He needs to quit complaining.
Is the man still dead? Is the officer who killed him still getting a raise and a Christmas bonus every year and a gosh darn turkey to boot?
Nobody's going to vote for an angry mayor.
Yeah, I'm angry. Aren't you? I care about this city. It's almost bankrupt. It's ill-managed. The infrastructure is falling apart. Everything's ground down by bureaucratic bullshit. The whole gosh darn city should be angry. We got a do-nothing mayor who's beholden to the money interests, probably can't even name his department heads.
Everybody knows that. Everybody's angry.
Old Joe enters.
That's a nice car you got out there in the lot. How many miles you got on it? I bet these shoes got more miles on them. That gold on black lettering was nice too. Good thing they didn't scratch it when they broke into your trunk.
Harmon starts for the door.
Ah,
It took me 15 minutes. I used to be able to walk from downtown in 6 minutes. You got to come up that hill. If I had some PF flyers, I could make it in 10.
Is there something I can do for you?
I'm looking for some Christian people. I went down to the mission. Ain't no Christian people out there.
Mr. Wilkes is very busy now. Can you come back later?
I can wait. He's my lawyer. They're supposed to have some Christians out of the mission, but they forgot how to call on God. I seen the people call God down. They don't do that much no more. But I seen it happen over on the north side, the 14th day of November, 1937. The people called him down, and God came with a blaze of glory out of water, say he could make it boil without fire. The people want to bet against God. You can't bet against God and win. The people put up their money. God walked over, stuck his hand in the pot, and stirred it around. Told one of the fellas, now you do it. Man walked over and tried to stick his hand in the pot and had to draw it back. The pot was boiling. If he had thrown some beans in there, you could have cooked your supper. made a pot boil without fire. Can you do it? If you can't do it, you ain't got nothing to say.
You say the people put up their money? They were betting against God? Well, tell me, did God walk out the door with the money? If God walked out the door with the money, he wasn't nothing but a Negro from Mississippi with some dry ice.
For the first time, Old Joe is speechless. After a beat, Harmon enters.
Did they take anything? I told you to get a new alarm.
They got my clubs.
Thank God they didn't take the car.
I'd rather they took the car and left the clubs. You can always get a new car.
Our homeowner's insurance will cover your clubs.
Oh, you can't replace them. They're a part of me. I got those clubs when I started playing golf 12 years ago, right before taxes, when I needed to spend some money before the government took it.
Should we call the police?
Why?
You need their report to file the insurance claim. It's the car damage, Demi.
Only the lock. They popped it off clean. We don't need to file an insurance claim. I'll take it over to the shop and get the lock replaced.
Mamie starts to leave.
Think over what we talked about. You only got one shot at this, Harmon.
Harmon picks up the phone and dials.
Dina, Harmon here. Listen, call the Post-Gazette. Let them know they have to publish my speech in its entirety or not at all. I don't know what their deadline is. I don't care. Call them now.
Mamie, disappointed, stares at Harmon a beat before she exits.
I don't let no woman rule my mind. You take 6 or 7. One cause too much trouble. One want everything. Them 6 or 7 be happy with what they can get. It took me a while to learn that. It took me a while to learn a lot of things, but I'm learning all the same. Is you learning anything? When you get drunk, when your way get dark, turn the lights up like high. That's such a simple thing. Most people forget about it. They walk around in the dark complaining. You ever notice that?
You striking out in the dark and there's nobody there but yourself. You're all alone. I used to walk around in the dark complaining because I couldn't find a woman. I didn't understand. I had everything a woman could want. I had money. I had confidence. I was doing something with my life. They all used to tell me I was too intense, too serious, that I needed to enjoy life. Shouldn't worry so much about the things I couldn't change. Then I met Mamie. First time I saw Mamie, it was raining. I thought she was gonna melt. The rain, it looked like it hurt her, like the two wasn't supposed to go together. You couldn't mix them up. That's what made her stand out. She had a frown on her face and the rain was beating on her. She hurt from the injustice of it. That's what made me like her. She could be strong and soft at the same time. I said I like that. I wish I had an umbrella, but I didn't. I went and stood and blocked the rain. I told her she looked too pretty to be getting all wet. That's how we got talking. She called the rain some names I ain't gonna repeat.
Harmon picks up the phone and dials.
May I speak to Commissioner Bell, please? Harmon Wells. Can you tell the commissioner I called to invite him to the groundbreaking ceremony for the Bedford Hills redevelopment site? It would mean a lot to me and to the community if the commissioner could be there. Next month on the 4th, on 10. I'll give you my office number. It's 391-7795. Thank you. Mr. Barlow, I already did what I could for you. They dismissed your summons as long as you don't start painting the house again.
I ain't painting that house. That was yesterday. Today's today. Tomorrow's been following me for a long time. Everywhere I go, it follows me. It ain't caught me yet. Today's faster than tomorrow. Today, I went down to see about my deed, and they said you had it. Said you bought my house. That ain't but so bad. Only thing is I didn't sell it. I tried to tell them, but they wasn't listening. They told me they sold it because I owed back taxes.
How come you didn't pay the taxes?
I did not want supposed to pay them. My mother says she didn't pay no taxes.
Everybody has to pay taxes.
My mother said she didn't pay none.
You know you have to pay taxes. The president has to pay taxes.
The Barlow family didn't pay no taxes, never did. Every time she went down to pay them, they was already paid.
Who was paying them then?
I don't know. She didn't say that part. I don't know. She knew.
Anybody delinquent in their property taxes and abandons the property, the city can seize the property and sell it at a sheriff's auction.
Well, don't they have to give a notice or something? If you was going to buy my house, at least you think you tell me about it.
The notice of the sheriff's sale should have been posted in the paper.
Well, what am I going to do?
There's nothing you can do. It's the law. The law protects you when you pay your taxes, but the law protects the city when a property is abandoned.
But I didn't abandon the house. I'm right here. People act like I'm invisible. If somebody asks me, I tell them I'm right here.
I don't know what to tell you other than your daughter will have to live somewhere else.
Yeah, this is the kind of man you're going to be, just like your daddy. Put the big man on one side and the little man on the other.
All right, tell you what, Mr. Barlow, I'll look into this for you, but I can't promise anything. This sounds like a straightforward case to me.
How much you charge? I can't pay but a little bit.
You don't have to pay me anything.
I got to pay you a little bit.
Roosevelt enters dressed in his golf clubs. He's very excited.
Hey, Harmon, you should have seen it. I made 2 birdies on the back 9. I shot my best round ever. I couldn't believe it. The ball kept falling from me.
Did I say I was leaving? I got to take care of some important business. I got places to go and people to see.
Bernie couldn't figure out what was happening. I told him next time we played, I'd give him some strokes.
Bernie Smith paid for your greens fee?
Hell, Bernie paid the greens fees, paid for our caddies, and picked up the tip. From the minute I set foot in Cedar Oaks golf course, it was made clear my money was no good there. This is the big time.
How did it go at the 19th hole? How many cards you pass out?
I was the center of the table. Everybody buying me drinks because of my game. The one guy was Australian, some kind of junk bond investor. And all I could get from him, the other guy, was he must be independently wealthy. He plays golf twice a day. That's going to be me one day.
Yeah, after you retire, if you can still walk.
Hey, Harmon, it's going to be much sooner than that.
Roosevelt smiles like a cat who ate the canary.
What? What happened? What are you talking about?
I was the center of the table and the conversation was going as good as my game. There I was, holding my own, breaking out ahead of the pack at the table of millionaires. Then I look up and it was just me and Bernie sitting there, man to man. I thought to myself, this is where I've been trying to get my whole life. And then it happened. Bernie Smith wants to partner with me to buy WBTZ radio.
What? You're putting me on.
Not only that, but I'd be in charge. Bernie wants to be a silent partner. I call all the shots. I get to run the day-to-day operations. I'm in charge of programming. Most important, I set the ad rates. My ship has come in.
But you don't know shit about radio.
I know radio is the best advertising platform out there. You have no idea how much money is to be made in radio right now. Rates are sky high and climbing every day.
Why does Bernie Smith want to partner with you? What's he get out of this?
We get to buy the station 2/3 of what it's worth. We buy it at an undervalued price, and right out of the gate, we're ahead making money.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would the owner of the station sell it undervalued? Is the station in debt?
Owner gets a tax incentive. It's an advantage for him and an advantage for us.
Incentive for what? What do you bring to the table?
The FCC offers a minority tax certificate.
Ah, so you're the blackface. You're just the front.
No, Harmon, no. I get to get in the door. Remember in school, we used to say we wanted to be in the room when they count the money? You're there already. This is my shot.
You'll get in the room. All it takes is some time. You can't let Bernie Smith use you like this.
This is how you do it. This is how everybody does it. You think Mellon has ever been used? We're talking about an $8 million radio station. This is the game. I'm at the table. There was a time they didn't let any blacks at the table. You open the door, you shine the shoes, you serve the drinks. And they went in the room and made the deal. I'm in the room. The motherfuckers who bought and traded them railroads, how do you think they did it? This is business. This is the way it's done in America. I get to walk away with a piece of an asset worth $8 million. I don't care if somebody else makes some money because of a tax break. I get mine and they get theirs. I pull this off, and next time I'm on the other side of the deal, sitting at the head of the table. Right now, I'm sitting here. I'd rather that than to be sitting on the other side of the door. Harmon, I have to take it. This is not going to come along again. The window of opportunity is already starting to close. If I don't do this, Bernie will get somebody else.
All right, man. What lawyer are you going to use on the deal? You can't trust Bernie Smith.
Bernie wanted to use his lawyer. I told him, no. I got to bring my own lawyer, my own guy. I thought I'd use Scott. He did good work for us.
What's your percent of the station?
He's offering 10 plus an annual percentage increase based on revenue not to exceed 25% ownership. And I'll draw a salary for running the station.
You can't take the initial offer. Bernie Smith won't respect you if you do.
Well, I figured I'd ask for 15. Take 12 and adjust my ownership allowance so it can accrue up to 25%. This is just the beginning, Harmon. I can set up a network. I know 5 or 6 stations to partner with. There's 2 in St. Louis, Newark, Atlanta. The door is wide open. All I got to do is walk through.
And just be careful.
Remember what we used to say in school? Hell, and all
here. It's all
for all.
The big and small.
Always me for you.
I got your back, man. I always got your back.
Hey, Harmon, I feel so good. I could go for another round of golf. Come on, let's close the office. This round's on me. Let's go.
I can't.
What you mean you can't? You can't celebrate with me? This is the biggest day of my life.
My clubs got stolen out of my trunk.
I told you, that's where I gotta see my car.
The lights go down on the scene. Scene 4. The lights come up on Harmon in the office. He is on the phone with a file in his hand.
You checked on the newspapers? Do you have the right address? 1839 Wiley? Dina, they had to have posted it in the paper at least 30 days before the auction. How far back did you go? I have the deed right here. I'm sure it's on the right date. I bought the house from the city on June 22nd, 1992. It doesn't matter when I transfer ownership to Bedford Hills. That has nothing to do with the notice on the paper. Why would you call Herm? I have all the files here. Let me check. Dina, never mind. Don't worry about it. I found out what happened. That's one of the houses I bought before it went to auction. Don't call anybody about this yet. Let me figure out what to do. Thanks. Hey, sweets. I thought you were in meetings all day.
Got the job.
Woohoo! That's great. I'm so proud of you.
The governor just called me himself. Told me he had to find somebody qualified, but instead got himself a superstar. Oh, there's still all the interview hoops to jump through, but that's just a formality. The governor's told me after our campaign, I can step right in.
Oh, let's celebrate tonight. We can go to the 10 Angel.
Everything is lining up and going so good for us.
Yo, why not forget about my campaign? Start your job as soon as you can.
Your campaign? What campaign do you have without me?
I don't know. You always have the plan.
You just better hope you can follow it. Have you thought about the slogan yet? We can't sit on this any longer. If we don't move soon, there won't be any buttons or anything to pass out at the groundbreaking. I still think we should go with Wilkes Works for You.
What about Win with Wilkes?
That might work for a bumper sticker, but we need something for the poster.
You can't really tell what will work till you see it.
I'll have some mock-ups made, something we can look at. Do we still like Harmon Wilkes, the People's Renaissance?
People have heard Renaissance too many times in Pittsburgh. They hear that again and will think all I want to do is build shopping malls.
This is your city?
How about Now is the Time?
No, we don't need the now. Let's try It's Time. That works better. But my favorite still, Wilkes Works for You. That will let the people know where you stand.
Those are good. Have them made up and we'll take a look at them.
What about colors?
No, try different colors. Let's see them.
Do you still want the flag on it?
Oh, that flag's most important. Don't hide it down in the corner or make it too small. Make sure it's waving high and strong, not hanging down looking defeated.
I'm gonna have these slogans sent straight out to the designers. They can have something made up for us in the next couple of days. I feel so good about all this. Right here. This is where you get, where hard work will take you.
Harmon Wilkes, running for mayor. I heard that. I told myself, it's about time. We need a black mayor. White folks had 100 mayors in a row. I read your speech in the newspaper.
Sterling, this is my wife, Mamie.
Nice to meet you.
What do you think of my campaign slogan? Wilkes Works for You.
You know, if you say that, you're going to have to do it.
I mean every word I said in that speech. You can hold me to it.
Say that. Hold me to it. Put that on your poster.
Hold me to it. Yeah, that's a good one. Put that down too, man.
I was going to say by any means necessary, but that ain't going to work for you unless you want to be Malcolm X.
Let me go and get the designers started on these poster ideas. Nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Mamie exits. Sterling reads from the newspaper.
The wealth of a city is not its 2 new stadiums. The wealth of a city is its people. People who need job opportunities that last longer than 9 months of a stadium building. People who need a city willing to invest in them with long-term jobs, enabling them to invest back in Pittsburgh the wealth of their work. We need them stadiums. Don't they hold big crowds of people? You're going to need them. That's where you're going to have to put the unemployment office. You're going to need both of them. Police misconduct should never be rewarded. Everyone should be called into account for their actions. The police are public servants bound by an oath of duty to protect its citizenry by abiding and upholding the laws of the Commonwealth. No one is above the law. Sounds simple, don't it? No one is above the law. You go downtown and try to tell them that. They act like they don't understand what you're saying. And then they lock you up for being hostile.
Yeah, if I'm elected, I'm going to change all that.
I ain't here to interfere with your work. I just stopped by to check on the job.
When I called the union and tried to get you on the job, they said you weren't a member.
Nah, you don't understand. I'm my own union. I got my own everything except my own bank. But I got my own truck. I got my own tools. I got my own rules, and I got my own union. I don't play no games. I have to have my own. That's the only way I got anything. I've been going through the back door all my life. See, people get confused about me. They think that they thought that ever since we was in school. But I know how to row the boat. I've been on the water a long time. I know what it takes to plug the holes. I ain't dumb, even though some people think I am. That gives me an advantage. See, I found that out when I was in the orphanage. Mr. Redwood taught me that. He told me, you ain't dumb. You just faster than everybody else. Said I was so fast it made me look slow. I wasn't waiting for them to catch up. That made it look like I was standing around doing nothing. They kept me behind in the 4th grade because I wouldn't add 12 and 12. I thought it was stupid. Everybody know there's 12 to a dozen and 24 to 2 dozen. I don't care if it's donuts or orange. Now they handed me a test and I turned it in blank. If you had $17 and you bought a parrot for $12, how many dollars would you have left? Who the hell gonna spend $12 on a parrot? And what you gonna do with it? Do you know how many chickens you can buy for $12? They thought I didn't answer the question. They thought I didn't know the answer to the question. Every time somebody come to adopt me, they say, well, Sterling's a little slow. And that stuck with me. I started to believe it myself. Maybe they knew something I didn't know. That's when Mr. Redwood told me, you ain't dumb. You just faster than everybody else. I've been going through back doors all my life because they don't never let me in the front.
Old Joe enters.
How you doing, Mr. Barlow?
Nice job you did on that porch up on Bedford. You smell fried chicken? I smell fried chicken. They usually have a fried chicken place around the corner.
Miss Harriet.
How you doing, Mr. Barlow?
You can call me Old Joe. Miss Harriet had a fried chicken place around the corner, her and her 2 sisters. They had 7, 8 kids between them, and they would get back there and fry that chicken. Woo, I don't know what they did, but the people would line up for it.
Saturday night, the line would stretch clean around the corner.
They would run out of chicken once or twice a month.
You can get a breast for 50 cents, a wing for $10, and a leg for a quarter. If you want, you can get 3 chicken necks for $10.
Yeah, they tore that down June 28, 1974. Miss Harriet closed up her restaurant for the last time and walked straight from there to the hospital. He didn't know what was wrong with her. They ran some tests and found out she had a broken heart. She died 3 or 4 days after that.
And that was 20 years ago. They said they tore it down so they could build something. They ain't built nothing yet.
They still tearing down. They trying to tear down my house.
The house with the red doors? You talking about Aunt Esther's house?
I'm trying to stop them. They like, that's like wrestling a bear.
There ain't nothing to wrestle a bear if you know where to grab them. If you grab them by the balls, you can get them to do anything you want.
When was the last time you grabbed a bear by the balls? I prefer to have harmony.
We have harmony, Mr. Barlow. I'm not the enemy, but there are laws to make sure everything is done right.
You trying to tear down my house? It's chaos. It ain't harmony. If we had harmony, you'd be helping me paint it.
I've looked into the matter and I'm going to take care of it. We'll straighten it out. You have my word on that, but we have to follow the law.
Old Joe acknowledges Harmon's lapel pin.
Ooh, what a nice pin you got there. It looks like the flag.
Yeah, that's the Stars and Stripes. I can get you one if you want one.
No, I just say that's a nice pin, nice colors. that red, white, and blue. We had a flag during the war, Company B, 4th Battalion. A fellow named Joe Mott carried the flag. He got shot in the head on the 2nd of November, 1942. He was betting against it, but he lost.
My brother died under that flag.
Lots of men died under the flag. That American flag was everywhere. Joe Mott carried it in the battle, but it was everywhere. But it was everywhere in the mess hall, in the dance hall. We had a great big mess hall. They would bring women in from town, and we have a great big old dance. You look up, and there would be the flag hanging behind the bandstand. The flag was everywhere. You saw it in the morning when you woke up. You saw it at night before you went to bed. Sometimes you saw it in your sleep. When the time come and I saw Joe Mott fall with that flag, shot right through the head. Bullet went in one end and come out the other. I don't know where it went after that. When I saw him fall, I said, no, I ain't gonna let you get away with nothing like that. That's what I said when I picked up the flag. And this flag been on this side of the battle. That's what the side I'm on. Joe Mott ain't died for nothing. If his life don't mean nothing, then my life don't mean nothing. I had sense enough to see that. A lot of people can't see that. I can't let him die and let the flag lay there. I was the closest one to it. I didn't even think about it. I just picked it up and carried it right up to the day I got discharged, December 4, 1945. I got in the Army and went and saw Joe Mott's mother. She was down in Georgia. I went down there and saw her walking up and down the street. A white fella stopped me, reached up and tore my flag off my coat, told me I ain't had no right to walk around with the American flag. I hope they let you keep yours.
Silence envelops the office.
When my brother got killed in Vietnam, one of his buddies came to see my mother. At the funeral, they gave her a flag. They folded it up real nice. She took it home and my father made her put it in a trunk. I never saw it again.
It used to be I couldn't talk about his father because I ain't had nothing nice to say about him. But now I can talk about it.
Old Joe hands Harmon some papers.
It said right there, your father was the one paying taxes on the house.
My father was paying taxes on the house? Why?
I don't know. His name is right there on the paper. Seems like you know more about it than me. Well, if I was adding up my 2 and 2 together, it seemed like to me you might want to find out.
The lights go down on the scene. Scene 5. The lights come up on Harmon in the office. Roosevelt enters, talking on his cell phone, laughing and having a good time.
I got to go now. No, it ain't like that. I told you I'm looking to eat my breakfast in a brand new place. I'll talk to you later. Arlene got me looking at other women.
You never stopped. How you gonna blame it on Arlene? You lucky she tolerate you.
She do more than tolerate. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about she got me when the field wasn't crowded. I don't know now. I don't know if she can go all the way with me.
She can't go all the way if you don't want her to. You got to figure that out. You can't wait to see if she's going to fit in. If you looking, you looking. You can't blame it on her.
I'm not blaming her. I just look around and see more out there than I did before. It's not her fault. She's a good woman.
They're hard to find. You better hold on to her.
Hey, Harmon, if the blight don't come through and we don't get the Fed money, we can bring Bernie in as a partner. I already felt him out and know I can get him to go for it.
No shit, he'd go for it. Bernie would love to get a piece of Bedford Hills. He'd have it so he'd be making money 3 ways: owning part of the development, hiring his own construction firm, and selling us all the supplies. Bedford Hills isn't going in Bernie Smith's pocket.
Better than Bedford Hills sitting out there an empty lot. For all we know, We're out there throwing money after nothing.
Sometimes you got to prime the pump. That's what gets the motor of big business going. The blight's good for everybody. It'll come through.
I know how business goes. I figured WBTZ can be your campaign's official media sponsor. I'll give you a break on the ad rates.
I thought that was going to be your campaign contribution.
Pulls out a file from the top of his desk.
I need you to look over this. We got a problem with the house.
What house?
1839 Wiley.
Man, we're working on $1 million redevelopment project, and you still talking about some raggedy-ass, rodent-infested, unfit for human habitation I saw that they should have tore down 25 years ago.
We don't own the house.
What you talking about? Bedford Hills paid you $10,000 for that house. What you mean we don't own it?
That was one of those homes Herm sent my way. I bought that house before it went to auction. Without the notice being published, the sale was illegal.
That's a technicality. I don't see where that makes a difference. The house was abandoned. The city claimed it for back taxes. You bought it from the city and then sold it to Bedford Hills. Case closed. What else is there?
Mr. Barlow has to be compensated.
That old crazy motherfucker.
We're tearing down the man's house and he never received the proper notification that the city was selling it. We have to compensate him. That's the only thing I see to do.
Okay, that's on you. You compensate him. You give him the 10 grand you got from Bedford Hills if you want him to have it.
I also found out my father was paying the taxes on the house. I just can't figure out why.
You get somebody that knows real estate to handle. I need somebody to help me with my real estate taxes.
They couldn't have paid through him. Mr. Barlow said they never paid any taxes. The taxes were being paid for them.
Okay, the father was paying the taxes, but this month we're having the groundbreaking. Everything's on track. Nothing but blue skies ahead.
All right, so Mr. Vice President of Mellon Bank, how are things going on your job?
Man, I don't even want to go there. I get into work today, and as soon as I hit my office, John Albridge, secretary, standing there in my doorway. She says, John needs to see me in his office immediately. I felt like I was being called into the principal's office. So I get there, and then the motherfucker makes me wait. When John can finally see me, I go and he tells me I'm not making my quotas. I'm not spending enough time at the office. Told me I don't have control of my team. Told me to conduct myself like a vice president. I started to tell him to kiss my ass, but figured I'd wait a while. I'd wait until I had all my ducks lined up.
Phone rings, Harmon answers it.
Bedford Hills? Yeah. Huh? What? I can't hear you. Huh? When? Hey, Roosevelt, the city declared blight.
Yes! Blight!
Thanks, Herb. Yeah. I told you the blight would come through.
Blight, 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 blight!
Roosevelt begins singing.
Hey, the game's all here.
It's one for all.
The big and small. It's all for me and you. No matter the weather, we were together. It's always me for you. Blight, blight, the gang's all here. Blight, blight, the gang's all here. Blight, blight, the gang's all here.
Sterling enters as they're singing. He is bewildered by what he sees. They stop singing. Sterling walks over and throws a receipt on Harmon's desk.
Somebody owe me $20 for my gallon of paint, and I want my money. I don't play, Harmon. I quit playing games when I was 12.
What's the matter? What are you talking about?
I just painted that door and somebody come and put an X over my paint job. I want my $26.
What door?
You know what door I'm talking about? The red door, 1839 Wiley. Somebody put an X over my paint job.
That house is abandoned. We're going to tear it down. What you doing painting it? That don't make any sense. You're up there painting an abandoned house. Don't nobody owe you nothing.
Here, I'll give you $26, but we're going to tear down that house. The matter's already settled.
That ain't right.
Rightly or wrongly, we're going to tear down that house.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Did I hear that shit right? Rightly or wrongly, you're going to tear down Mr. Barlow's house? Rightly or wrongly, it don't matter to you if it's wrong.
I didn't say it didn't matter to me.
Well, it's got to matter. If it don't matter, then don't nothing work. Then nothing don't work. If nothing don't work, then life ain't worth living. See, you living in the world where it don't matter, but that's not the world I live in. The world I live in is right. Right is right, and right don't wrong nobody.
I'm talking reality. You have to face that reality whether you want to or not. Given the facts, I don't understand why you would be up there painting the house in the first place.
Well, I'm painting the house because Mr. Barlow hired me to paint it. Now, you can't just tear down the man's house. That's the kind of shit they did to the Indians. They signed a treaty, and as soon as the Indians walk out the door, they start plotting on how to break it. I don't care what laws say. They're liable to make a law that say anything. If they got a law that say they can tear down his house, they can make one that say they can tear down your house. Common sense tell you that.
I tell you what, my man. You go on and paint it. You paint it all you want to. Come next month, we tearing the motherfucker down.
If you fuck with Mr. Barlow's house, if you move one damn pebble, you're going to have to answer to me on the battlefield. Now, we can deal with this the old-fashioned way. It ain't gone out of style. It just got different levels, see? You the cowboys. You the cowboys. I'm the Indians. See who wins this war.
Sterling exits and the lights go down on the scene. You want to take 5?
I'm good.
Act
good.
2. Act 2, scene 1. The lights come up in the office. In Harmon's area, the campaign poster is up. Hold me to it. Harmon Wilkes for mayor. Harmon sits listening to the radio. Roosevelt's voice comes out of the radio.
When you find yourself on the back 9 and up by more than 4 strokes, never forget, you're always 1 stroke away from disaster. Take it 1 hole at a time. I learned this watching Neville Alcorn and the 88 Masters. He was a shot away from putting on the green jacket when he chose his 7-iron from 180 yards out. He could have made it in 2 strokes had he chosen his pitching wedge. With a 7-iron, you can get more distance, but you give up ball control. The ball came out hot and looking for water. Took him 10 strokes to finish the hole. That's why on the back 9, you should always play it safe from the fairway. If you're up by at least 4 strokes, you can afford to be conservative. Also, to maintain ball control, remember to glide through your stroke. That's the best way to get to your putter. Next week, I'll tell you the secret to getting your handicap down. This is Radio Golf with Roosevelt Hicks, making your game hotter with every stroke. Wishing you blue skies and stay out of them sand traps. WBTZ, I'll burn you.
Sterling enters with a flyer and greeting from the flyer.
Come one, come all. Paint party, 1839 Wiley Avenue, Thursday, 10 a.m. Music, dancing, refreshment. Now, put that up. Man, I organized this. Let's see you tear down that house now. I know that house. That's Aunt Esther's house. Now, you should go up there. I bet you ain't even been inside. Used to be a line to her door every Tuesday. I went up there to see Aunt Esther once. Had to go up to the red door 3 different times before she see me. She was sitting in this room. You had to go through some curtains into this room, and she was just sitting there. Had this peacefulness about her. Aunt Esther told me I had good understanding. She said that before I could say anything to her. She just looked at me and said that. I talked to her for a long while, told her my whole life story. I asked her how old she was. She said she was 349 years old. That was 29 years ago. I was sorry to hear that she died. Yeah, I went up to see Aunt Esther because I was feeling sorry for myself for being an orphan. And I was walking around carrying that. She told me, set it down. Make better what you have and you have best. Told me if I wanted to carry something, carry some tools. And I've been carrying tools ever since. And I've been at peace with myself. You should go up there. I got something else for you.
Sterling exits and returns carrying Harmon's golf clubs.
What you got there? Those are my golf clubs. Where'd you get my golf clubs?
They used to be yours. They mine now. I paid $20 for these golf clubs. What you supposed to do? You supposed to point your toes like this?
Where did you get my golf clubs from? They were stolen from my car. Those are mine. Where did you get them from?
Give me $20 and they're yours.
Where did you get them from?
Well, I don't know what his name was. I know he was mad. He carrying them golf clubs all around and couldn't find nobody to sell them to. I give him $20. That was more than anybody else would give him. He might have asked for $30 if he wasn't tired of carrying them. I'll let you have them for $20.
Harmon gives him the $20.
I didn't know what I was going to do without these.
Sterling discovers the campaign poster.
Hold me to it. Harmon Wilkes for mayor. You know how you can win the election hands down? You know how on the Parkway they had that one lane they call a HOV lane and 3 lanes that ain't? All you got to do is switch it around and make them 3 lanes HOV lanes and the 1 lane for single drivers. See, that one lane be bumper to bumper and won't nobody want to drive in it. Now after a while there won't be any single drivers. That 1 lane be empty all the time and people be begging you to make it a HOV lane too. And the whole thing be a HOV. What you think?
You'd have a riot on your hands. The people wouldn't stand for that. You'd have mass civil disobedience. You couldn't get enough policemen to hand out tickets.
Well, common sense say if you want to cut down on traffic, you got to give people an incentive. That's what the problem is now. People don't know how to think. You ever honk at anybody because they wasn't going fast enough?
Yeah, I have honked at people.
Well, where was they going?
Where were they going? I don't know where they were going.
I know where they was going. They was going to the next red light. Now, you ever think of that? Everybody in a hurry to slow down. Shit, I think it's kind of funny if you think about it. Now, you get to be the next mayor. Is you going to be the mayor of the black folks or the white folks?
If I win, I'm going to be mayor of the city of Pittsburgh. I'm going to be mayor of all the people.
The white man, he'd be mayor of the white folks. Black folks can't get streets clean. Schools don't have no textbook. Don't have no football uniforms. The mayor be the mayor for white folks. As soon as black folks start a club or something, the first thing they say is, it just ain't going to be for blacks. Well, why not? They got 500,000 things that just be for white folks. If they have 1,400 students out at Pitt eating lunch in the cafeteria, and they have 5 black people sitting eating lunch together, they say, look, see, they segregate themselves. They ain't said nothing about them 1,395 white folk eating lunch by themselves. What's wrong with being the mayor for black folk?
I'm going to be the mayor of everybody. It's not about being white or black. It's about being an American. Did you see the paper today where Cincinnati's trying to get Wilson Sporting Goods to relocate there? I'm working on a plan to bring them to Pittsburgh by putting together a $100 million tax incentive based on manufacturing hours. offered them that site for a manufacturing facility right there where the steel mill was. $100 million is a powerful incentive. Cincinnati's not going to do that. Plus, you have the rivers and the railroads. We have the airports and the banks. And this is a sports town. Cincinnati can't compete with us.
Hey, Mr. Barlow. Wait till you see the other side of that door I painted. I changed the color to tone down the red a little bit. You know, I mixed some white in there, but not enough to make it pink. You're gonna like it. Did you figure out what color green you wanted?
Every time I hear the word green, I think of Sam Green. Did you know Sam Green? You can't be nobody but who you are. That's when I first found that out. Sam Green was a black man, used to own a grocery store down on Fullerton Street, Green's Groceries. That was the biggest grocery store down there. Used to sell live chickens and have vegetables sitting out on the sidewalk. Everybody used to shop at Green's Groceries. He went out to Shadyside to buy some furniture, and the police arrested him. Said he looked suspicious. He can't look no other way than the way he looked. He found out he was living with white people who look at him as with suspicion. Wherever he would go and whatever he would do, he found that out, and I sent him straight to the hospital. Had to haul him away in a straitjacket. He took him over to Mayview. He's still there, I believe, if he ain't dead. He might be dead because living like that is hard on your body.
Mr. Barlow, it's good to see you. I have something for you.
It ain't no bread pudding, is it? I was just thinking about bread pudding. You like bread pudding? My mother used to make bread pudding. Ooh, she made the best bread pudding. She didn't do it too often, but when she did it, she make a great big old pan last 2 or 3 days. It ain't no bread pudding, is it?
Armin hands Old Joe a check for $10,000. Old Joe looks at it and hands it back to him.
That got my name on it, but it don't belong to me. Here, you take it.
No. That's for your house. I looked into it, and the city didn't notify you that they were putting it up for sale. That's compensation for your house.
That's too much money. I wouldn't know what to do with that much money. Go on, you take it. I don't want it. I got enough troubles as it is.
This isn't any trouble. This is what Bedford Hills is paying you for your house. The city sold your house because you owed over $12,000 back taxes. This is what they sold it for.
I like my house. Don't you like your house?
It's not a matter of if I like my house or not, or if you like your house. Come Thursday, your house is going to be torn down to make way for a redevelopment project. We're going to put a 10-story apartment building on that site with 180 apartments. It's not a matter if you like your house.
I remember you had a porch, a white porch, and sometimes you would sit up there out in the rain. You didn't have no porch. If we wasn't careful, we could drown. You had chairs, so we sit on the stoop. But we was all sitting just the same. If you ask somebody what they was doing, they tell you they was sitting. We sit there, and that was the best expression in life at that time. Another time, it'd be something else. You're always looking to express yourself, not in one or two things, but in everything. Even the way you scratch your head, the way you walk across the yard, the way you sit. All that's like talking. You sit out there in the yard and you didn't have to say anything. You didn't have to have no other meaning. Everybody just sitting out. That was one of the best times I had in my life. I like my house. I was thinking about getting a new roof.
That house is being torn down. I don't know why you can't understand that. You have to take this check. Even if the city hadn't sold the house, you'd still have to pay the back taxes.
That's what I told myself. The taxes come first. Only thing is I didn't know if I was going to live long enough to pay them off. I can't pay but $100 a month, so maybe I better get a new roof first so that it don't rain on me while I pay these taxes.
The house is being torn down on Thursday. Can't he see that? I'm trying to help him. This way, at least, he has something. If he doesn't take the $10,000, he won't have anything. Doesn't make any sense. Can't you talk to him and get him to see that?
See now, Harmon, I thought you was a smart man. And when you gave me that $20, you bought some stolen property. You can go to jail for that.
What?
You know how many niggas in jail for receiving stolen goods? Now, Harmon Wilkes, candidate for mayor, arrested for receiving stolen goods.
Those are my golf clubs. Got my initials on the bag. Look at that. HW. These are mine.
That's Mr. Barlow's house. Go up there. Got his initials on it. 1839 Wiley. Only he was smarter than you. He ain't broke no laws. See, you stole Mr. Barlow's house. As it is, Bedford Hills is in possession of stolen property. And you and him are the only ones who know you stole it. Everybody else thinks you bought it. That's why he can't call the police. Won't nobody listen to him. He's trying to get them to listen. He's shouting, and nobody paying attention. If you even whisper, everybody sit up and stop to listen.
Darlene,
Yeah,
back to $20.
Here, I don't want your $20. Take the golf clubs as a present.
That's not the same thing.
It looked like the same thing to me, but then maybe I'm wrong. What do I know? I ain't went to school to study up on it. But some things you don't have to study up on. You ain't got to study up on right and wrong.
Darlene exits. The lights go down on the scene. Scene 2. The lights come up on Roosevelt practicing his golf swing in the office. Roosevelt's area is cluttered with WBTZ paraphernalia, bumper stickers, posters, a calendar. Harmon enters carrying a wrapped parcel. Roosevelt pulls a new set of keys out of his pocket.
Hey, Harmon, look at these. Picked them up at the station today. Those keys will open every door of 255 Penn Avenue. I can go wherever I want. I picked up those keys and then walked straight over to the bank. Went right past John Albrecht's secretary. She didn't know what to do. She never seen nobody walk right in John Albrecht's office. Neither did he. I walked right in. Before he could say anything, I told him, "Kiss my ass, I quit." His face turned pink as his shirt. So he don't forget me. I'm gonna send the motherfucker a Christmas card every year.
Congratulations. You know how many people would love to do that?
My new office is getting painted today. Light money green. Wait till you see the view. When the new stadium's built, I'll be able to almost watch the Pirates play. And my new business cards are on rush order. I'm giving you the first one.
I'm real happy for you. I hope this leads you to where you're going.
Now that you got your clubs back, let's go play around to celebrate. This one's on you.
I can't. I got a lot to do. I went up and looked at that house on Wiley. Have you ever been inside?
No, I haven't been inside. I ain't that brave. It would collapse on me.
It's a Federalist brick house with a gold double base foundation. I couldn't believe it. It has beveled glass on every floor. There's a huge stained glass window leading up to the landing, and the staircase is made of Brazilian wood with a handcrafted balustrade. You don't see that too often.
That's because people don't like that kind of shit anymore. All that's listed in the demolition contract, they have salvage rights. That's why we got a good price on the demolition.
You should feel the woodwork. If you run your hand slow over some of the wood, you can make out these carvings. There's faces, lines, making letters, and old language. And there's this smell in the air.
Oh, that's the mothballs. People used to throw mothballs all through their old shit. They'll stink up the air like that.
No, the air in the house smells like a new day. you need to look over this. There are adjustments that need to be made to the development plan. We have to anticipate what the fallout would be.
Roosevelt. Roosevelt.
Well,
Want to say your line again, Harmon?
That's what you're talking about.
I'll take care of it. I'll take the heat. I'm going to start making calls today, but you need to be aware of this. I got a jump start and had a new rendering made.
Harmon unwraps the parcel. It's a new rendering that features a photograph of 1839 Wiley preserved with the complex built around it. Roosevelt.
What the fuck is that?
It's a relatively easy adjustment. See, we pull back the south wing, all we lose in the long run are 32 parking spaces.
What the fuck is that?
Mr. Barlow wouldn't accept the payment for his house.
So what? He didn't take the money, proves he's crazy. Put the 10,000 back in your pocket where it belongs.
He won't accept compensation because his house isn't for sale. We have no choice but to build around it. We don't own the house.
Norman, where you at, man? That issue. I don't care now if Pope owned it. Come Thursday, the house is history. Look at this. All the money's lined up. We got contracts with Whole Foods and with Starbucks and Barnes & Noble, all finalized. It's all set and agreed to. You can't fuck with it now. I worked hard to get this. We have to stick to the plan. I got a lot invested in this.
I have a lot invested in it too. We can still do the plan. We're just altering it. We can tear down the house. We can't tear down the house we don't own. It's the law.
The house is being torn down Thursday, 10 a.m., whether we own it or not. It'll still be torn down. I'm going down to the club and take a sauna. Then I got to go to the station. We can talk about this house shit later. Don't move forward on any of this without me.
Roosevelt exits. Harmon goes over and stares at the rendering. He goes to his desk, picks up the phone and dials.
Hey, Hop, Carmen here. You know that house on Wiley? We're not gonna tear that down. Yeah, I know. We'll pay the fee. No, it's not you. You do good work. I'll call you on the next one. All right. Thanks, Hop.
Yeah. I got $100. That's the most I can pay on my taxes at one time. Who do I pay? Do I pay you? I don't want to get behind. Got behind in my life insurance, but I caught up. I don't want to be a burden to nobody. See, white folks don't be a burden on their kids. If you white and your daddy die, you get some money. If you black, you get a bill from the undertaker.
We're not gonna tear down the house.
Ojo takes back the $100.
They say if you live long enough, the boat will turn around. Big boats turn slow, but they turn nonetheless.
Harmon shows the renderings to old Joe.
Take a look at this. See, there's your house, and we're gonna build our development around it.
Where the yard at? House got a yard. Where my daughter gonna plant her garden?
We'll have the surveyors come out and make sure all the original property stays intact.
Where's my deed? Just because you say that don't mean it's true.
We'll transfer the deed and get it recorded. But remember, you have to keep up with the taxes now.
Old Joe starts to leave.
I can tell my daughter to start packing.
Mr. Barlow, I looked into why my father was paying taxes on the house. He was doing what my grandfather started, but I can't figure out why. Have you ever heard of Caesar Wilkes?
I never heard that name.
Did you ever hear your family mention anybody with the Wilkes name?
No, nobody talked about the Wilkes. I never heard nobody say that name in the family.
Not many speak well of my father. He was a hard businessman. He shook his hand on the deal knowing he always got the better end of it. But he was an honest man. My father talked a lot about family. He said that family was the most important thing. Yet when my brother got killed in Vietnam, he didn't go to his funeral. He planned for Raymond and me to go to Cornell, then take over Wilkes Realty. But Raymond didn't follow the plan. He wanted to go to Grambling and play football. My father said he wouldn't pay for it. Raymond joined the army to pay for it himself. I followed the plan and went to Cornell. They sent Raymond to Vietnam and he got killed. My father turned blood into vinegar. He didn't even go to Raymond's funeral. I could never look at my father the same after that. Even though he betrayed those values, I still clung to them. But what I can't figure out is why my family was paying the taxes on your house.
Maybe they used to own the house.
No, we never owned 1839 Wiley.
I remember about the time Black Mary was born. There was a lot of talk about the house.
Black Mary?
That's my daughter. I named her after my mother. Lots of people do that. Old folks do that all the time.
I thought your mother's name was Esther Tyler.
It was, but that wasn't her birth name. She didn't tell nobody what that was. Now since she's dead, I guess it don't matter. When you're dead, you're done. Her birth name was Black Mary.
My grandfather had a sister named Black Mary. I thought she died before I was born.
Lots of people named Black Mary. That was a nice name.
Well, my grandfather was named Caesar Wilkes, and he had a sister named Black Mary. They had different mothers, but had the same father. I know the name of their father. Do you know the name of your grandfather?
Yeah, but I ain't gonna tell you, but I'll write it down. You write it down too.
They each write the name on a piece of paper. They recognize that this is one of the important moments of their lives in which everything may change for them. Old Joe hands his paper to Harmon. Harmon looks at the paper. Old Joe waits to find out the truth.
Henry Samuels.
Harmon wraps Old Joe in his arms. The lights go down on the scene. Scene 3. The lights come up on Mamie and Roosevelt in the office.
What did you tell him?
I told him we wanted to talk with him. He said he was on the way.
I never seen him this before. He's been talking about our father and his mother. He's got to let that go.
All Harmon talked about last night was that old man being some cousin of his. He stayed up all night. I don't know what time he came to bed.
He's lost sight of what's important. I'm worried. He's working hard.
He wants to move to the Hill, wants to move back in the house he grew up in. Harmon hasn't lived in the Hill in 25 years. I can't move back here, Roosevelt. I don't want to go backward. I wasn't born backward. You'd be surprised how many white people think all black people live in the hill.
You've been waiting long? I would have been here earlier, but I got a call back from Starbucks in Seattle. They still need to see the new drawings, but they love the idea. They think it would make great publicity about preserving the house, preserving part of the community. At the grand opening, we're going to give Mr. Barlow free Starbucks coffee for life.
Harmon, slow down. We want to talk with you. You're working too hard. I think we should go away for the weekend. You've always talked about going to San Francisco. This would be a good time to go. Not too many tourists. The hotels will be half empty.
What about the groundbreaking? I can't go away until after the campaign. Then we can go to San Francisco, whether it's a good time to go or not.
Herman's got a place in the Caribbean. You can go down there for a few days, play some golf, go sailing. Just get your mind off it. I can deal with things till you get back. Oh, sorry.
All right.
Sorry,
Keep
Roosevelt.
going. That's okay. Keep going.
We can postpone the groundbreaking. Things will smooth over. When you come back, you'll be fresh.
Why? Everything's coming together. I'm standing on top of everything. Plans change and you got to roll with them. Bedford Hills is on schedule. Everything's still set for the groundbreaking next week. There's no reason to change that.
Harmon, man, you need to step back. Get some perspective. I've been putting fires out all day, cleaning up after you. You made a mess. At 10 o'clock this morning, there was no Bedford Hills. The project collapsed. I've been dancing on the phone for hours trying to bring it back.
What are you talking about?
Whole Foods was so pissed, it took me an hour to get somebody to take my call. They were ready to pull out. So was Barnes & Noble. We signed a contract. And change their store layout without and cut their customer parking in half. I get a call from the committee chair who gave us the Fed money. He wanted to remind me that the use of that grant money was contingent on us following the plan submitted in our proposal. And don't forget, we got 180 apartment units to rent. Leaving that piece of shit house standing there, we might as well apartments right now to the projects. Herman, you're off the hook with this. There's no way you can save that house.
Everybody involved in this project wants to see it happen. They'll get mad at first, but they'll calm down and adjust. The plan I came up with is the only way I see we can move forward. We can't tear down Mr. Barlow's house.
Mr. Barlow, let me tell you about that crazy motherfucker. Here's your Mr. Barlow. I got Sergeant to fax me this.
Roosevelt scans and reads from the rap sheet.
Fraud, hijacking, grand theft, assault, loitering, drunkenness, disturbing the peace, vagrancy. He has a record go all the way back to 1907. Stole a crate of chickens in 1938. Burglary, first degree assault, born 1918. Highest grade completed, fourth, married, divorced, married, divorced. He is the father of 8 children, ages 6 to 18. This was in 1942. Probably didn't take care of any of them. He's too busy stealing. Been 8 months on the country farm, 1939. Discharged from the Army in 1945. 2 years for assault of a police officer, 1948. 3 years Western State Penitentiary for hijacking, 1952. 30 days, 1957. 60 days vagrancy, 1958. Spent 4 months in Mayview State Hospital. sent for 90-day observation, was kept an additional 30 days for further observation. It wouldn't have taken me but 30 minutes to tell you he's not all there. Defendant reports address as 1839 Wiley, was caught breaking and entering. Defendant claims he had lost his keys to said residence. Here you go. This is what I'm talking about. This is how crazy the nigga is. Defendant claims to be a member of a lost tribe said to have migrated from the Arabian Peninsula 500 BC. Defendant states he wants to bring charges against the United States government for harbors. Claims to have journeyed to a bone sunken in the Atlantic Ocean. See, I told you, you can't get any crazier than that.
Look, all that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean anything. I don't care if he is a criminal. We can't tear down his house. I've got a plan for Bedford Hills that will still work. But we need to start working together on this. We can get everybody back on board. I'll call Whole Foods tomorrow.
There's an awkward silence.
You're not listening, man. I called up a demolition. I had the demolition of 1839 Wiley rescheduled for Thursday so everything can go according to the original plan.
How can you do that? You're the one not listening. We're not going to tear down a house we don't own.
You don't own it. You're getting this confused with Wiles Re. This is Bedford Hills redevelopment. That's who owns 1839 Wiley, and I called up and got the demolition rescheduled. You're not the only one calling the shots.
Okay. Bedford Hills owns 1839 Wiley. Okay. But Bedford Hills acquired 1839 Wiley illegally. It bought it from me, but I didn't own it. I bought the house before it went to auction. That's against the law. That's corruption. I'm going down to the courthouse and file an injunction to stop the demolition.
Armin, if you do that, you're throwing everything away. All our hard work, your career, your reputation.
You got to have a rule of law, otherwise it would be chaos. Nobody wants to live in chaos.
Armand exits. The lights go down on the scene. Scene 4. The lights come up on Harmon on his cell phone. The office phone is ringing. Harmon ignores it.
No, I won't do any more interviews. Tell them I have a statement for them later. I don't have any comment at this time. I don't care who it is.
The phone keeps ringing.
Keep trying to get hold of Herman. Have him call me on my cell, okay?
He hangs up. The office phone rings again. Harmon ignores it. He makes a call on his cell.
Hey, Roosevelt, Harmon here, letting you know I'm at the office.
He hangs up. The office phone continues ringing. Harmon is pulling the phone cords out of the wall when Mamie enters. Harmon stops to look at her. She doesn't say anything.
We need to put together a statement for the press. If I don't respond, it looks like I did something wrong.
When do they rule on the injunction?
Today, tomorrow, next week, a month from now. Whenever the judge feels like it. But he has to take the case first. I've drawn up an affidavit. Herman needs to sign. Till I can get it on the docket, I was granted a temporary injunction to stop the demolition.
I just drove by the site. They got 2 bulldozers sitting up there.
You're talking about bulldozers. They can't tear down the house. I got a temporary injunction.
There's a bunch of people up there too. They're passing out these flyers. Come one, come all. Paint party, 1839 Wiley Avenue. Thursday, 10 a.m. That's just what they're having, a party. Got music blasting, got the barbecue cooking, kids running around. Looks like the 4th of July.
I don't care what's going on. They can't tear down the house today.
Hold me to it. it, Harmon Wilkes for mayor. Mayor Wilkes, that was almost you. You could have been mayor, then governor, then Senator Wilkes. All that was ahead for you. It was right there. All you had to do was follow the plan.
I've been following plans my whole damn life. My father set Wilkes Realty out before me when I got out of school. All I had to do was follow the plan. It was Monday. I got up that morning and went into work with him. We walked in Wilkes Realty, and there on one of the doors was my name, Harmon Wilkes. That looked good, I thought. Yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. My father didn't say anything to me about it. He walked into his office and I walked into mine. Sat there at the desk. Now what? There were new tables, new pens in the drawers. I sat there a while. Then the phone rang and I answered it. All I had to do was follow the plan. I can't follow the plan this time, man. I'm afraid to look away from what's right too long. You won't turn back. Start all the time looking for what's in this for me.
I got a call this morning from the governor's office. They canceled my next interview and said they didn't want to reschedule any further interviews with me at this time.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to say.
You jumped, but I'm falling too. I'm the wife of Harmon Wilkes. That's all the governor sees, all any of the other board members see, what all our friends see. I tied myself so tight to you that there's no me. I don't know if I can carry this any further.
Wait a minute. What are you saying? You've been part of me for so long. I wouldn't know what to do. What is life? Why am I living it? I've been trying to answer those questions. You are a part of the answer. There are other answers, but I wouldn't know how to go about finding them without you. You have to have a center. Without that center, everything caves in.
I have a center too. What happens when that caves in? I have questions too. You're acting like a kid who, because things don't go his way, takes his ball and goes home. That's what your problem is. You've always been the kid who had the ball. You're the one with the glove and the bat. You had the bike when nobody else had one. All your life, you always had everything go your way.
Everything went my father's way. Asking myself every day, what would he do? Now I've got to follow my own plan like my brother did. But I need you beside me. You remember that time when we had just started dating? We were just going to some big event you had planned. It was raining. I remember that event. It was a big night for you.
It was a big night. All eyes in the office were on me.
And I blew a tire on the way. There you were, all dressed up. You didn't sit in the car. You were standing out along the road beside me. That red scarf wrapped around your neck. You didn't get mad. You didn't blame me. We worked through it together. I still remember you standing out there holding out your hands ready to take the rusty bolts. That's when I knew that I loved you.
Still standing here, Harmon. I still love you. But this is all you now. Your campaign, that old house, the hill. You're on your own with all that. I can't live my life for you, and you can't live yours for me. But I'm still standing here.
Harmon takes Mamie up in his arms for a long embrace. His cell phone begins to ring.
See you tonight.
Mamie exits and Harmon answers the phone.
Herm? Listen, Herm, listen. No, I can't do that. They're just trying to scare you. They can't nail you for anything. Just sign the affidavit. I need it to make the case. There's no way they can charge you with criminal intent. All the affidavit states is that the city sold me the block of houses off auction as a measure of expediency. And we have proof that they're all purchased at market rate. You're clean. Yes, you're clean on it. Herm, trust me, I can't do that. I can't. I have to move forward with this. Herm? Herm?
The line is dead. Harmon hangs up. He looks over the office. Things have changed. He goes to his campaign poster and takes it down. He looks at it a while and then shakes his head and smiles. He tears the poster in half and throws it away. Sterling enters with the newspaper, a can of paint, and a paintbrush.
Harmon Wilkes, a desperado. Prominent Hill District Realtor Harmon Wilkes yesterday alleged that the city has been selling property seized for real estate taxes without holding a service auction. Wilkes claims to have first-hand knowledge, having been involved in such backroom dealings over the years. The district attorney's office has yet to announce an investigation into Wilkes' allegations. Rumored to be the Democratic choice for mayor, this puts Wilkes' potential candidacy in jeopardy. That's kind of funny. You used to be the sheriff or the captain or something like that. Now you a desperado.
We're not tearing down the house.
Well, the sign says demolition Thursday, 10 a.m.
They can't tear down the house today. I was granted a temporary injunction to stop the demolition.
But you still gonna need a lawyer. You can go down to the Hill House. They got some lawyers down there. See if you can get a white lawyer. White crimes, white lawyer, country club jail. Black crimes, black lawyer, Western State Penitentiary.
I'm my own lawyer. I got the law on my side.
You got too big too fast. They don't like that. If you hadn't did it to yourself, they was laying for you. See, they don't mind you playing their game, but you can't outplay them. If you score too many points, they change the rules. That's what the problem was. You scored too many points. And if things had kept on going like that, you was gonna have to buy you a gun. Time this is over, you ain't gonna be able to walk down the streets without somebody pointing at you. Now, if they point and whisper, you in trouble. You have to move out the state, start over again somewhere fresh. That is, if you want to play the game. Now, if you still want to play the game, you're going to have to relearn the rules. See, they done changed. Now, if you relearn the rules, they let you back on the playing field, but now you're crippled. You ain't got but one leg. You be driving around looking for handicap parking. Get back on the field, and every time you walk by somebody, they check their pockets. That's enough to kill anybody right there. You had to take a little hit like that all day, every day. How long you think you can last? Shoot, I give you 6 months.
I know how the game is played. I know the rules.
But do you know when the game is over? When you're in an argument, the best thing to do is stop arguing. I got into an argument with Buddy Will over Muhammad Ali. Buddy said Muhammad Ali won all his fights by outthinking everybody. Say he used psychology. Well, I asked him what the hell his hands were doing while his mind was thinking. I told him to go ask Joe Frazier what they were doing. He ain't had enough sense to see what I was saying, so I say, you're right, and walked away. See, that's what you got to do. Like the man that stole $300 million. He say, you're right. And they fined him $30 million and give him a year in jail. Now, the way I figure it, that leave him $270 million profit. Now, unless my math is wrong, see, dividend is good for your blood pressure too, your heart and everything else.
Look, my man, this ain't no hangout. Go hang out on the corner.
I'm talking to Mr. Wilkes.
Mr. Wilkes is busy right now. We're having a meeting. You got to go somewhere else.
What? You think I'm a stray dog? I'm homeless? I ain't got no friends? I ain't got no purpose in life? You the big man. You got everything. You got more reasons to live than I do. What you got that I ain't got? I got good manners and everything. What you got? What makes you special? I got a house. I got everything you got, plus a little more. I got common sense. I know riddles. I could sing. And I used to have a pretty good hoop game. What you got, I ain't got. I got a dick. I got a fist. I got a gun. I got a knife. What you got?
For one, I got some money.
I got some money, too. You think you the only one got money? Money make you special?
Shirley goes into his pocket and takes out some bills.
Yeah. Now what? Show me your money. Come on, show me your money. I ain't sure you got none. There's mine. Where's yours?
I said money. You don't know what money is. When I go to the bank, I need a wheelbarrow. They send me straight to the weighing station. They say, weigh it up now and count it later.
You know what you are? See, it took me a while to figure it out. You a Negro. See, white people would get confused and call you a nigger, but they don't know like I know. See, I know the truth of it. I'm a nigger. Negroes are the worst thing in God's creation. See, niggas got style. Negroes got blinditis. A dog knows is a dog. A cat knows is a cat. But a Negro don't know he's a Negro. He thinks he's a white man. It's Negroes who hold us back.
Who's us? Roosevelt Hicks is not part of any us. It's not my fault if your daddy's in jail, your mama's on drugs, your little sister pregnant, and the kids don't have any food because the welfare cut off the money. Roosevelt Hicks ain't holding nobody back. Roosevelt Hicks got money. Roosevelt Hicks got a job because Roosevelt Hicks wanted one. You niggas kill me blaming somebody else for your troubles. Get up off your ass, quit stealing, quit using drugs, go to school, get a job, pay your taxes. Oh, I see. You can't do that because Roosevelt Hicks is holding you back.
Yeah, you holding me back. You make things hard for me. You go around kissing the white man's ass, and when they see me, they think I'm supposed to kiss it too. You ever notice how glad they are when they see you coming? Go on downtown and kiss some more ass, because you ain't wanted around here. I'm talking to Mr. Wilkes.
You're loitering. You're disrupting a place of business. If you don't leave, I'm calling the police.
Shirley goes over to the paint can and opens it. He dips his finger in, makes a line on his forehead down to his nose.
Look at that. You know what that is? That's a mark. See, I'm marking myself because I don't want you to misunderstand this.
He dips his hand into the paint and marks both sides of his cheeks.
See that?
He marks his face again.
I learned that from Cochise. We on the battlefield now.
Shirley exits.
Each one crazier than the next. I always told myself niggas could be doing a little better than they was doing. I thought it was because they was too lazy, but I see how these niggas done let the white man drive them crazy. How you take this man? He didn't grow up. He's still playing cowboys and Indians. He hadn't stopped to think about how he's gonna get that paint off his face. Now why he do that? Why is he walking around with a can of paint? We haven't got to do that part yet. That's the part which proves the equation. Here's a man who's painting a house that is going to be torn down. Now you think about that a minute. They're going to tear down the house and he declares war on me. He doesn't have enough sense to know who the enemy is. I'm not the enemy. The enemy is right in his mirror. I don't understand. There isn't much I understand anymore. I don't understand you. I stood by and watched you commit suicide. For what? A raggedy ass house. I don't understand. And you don't have nothing to show for it. The judge threw out the injunction. He ordered the demolition. They're up there now.
I was granted a temporary injunction. That's the law.
The judge dismissed the temporary injunction and ordered the demolition.
Can't do that. What about the law?
Bulldozers start at 10:15.
This is chaos. Right and wrong don't matter.
Harmon, did you really think the judge was going to let that raggedy ass house stand in the way of a multi-million-dollar redevelopment projects that's spearheaded by the city? Common sense would tell you otherwise.
No, common sense says that ain't right. We see it different. No matter what you always on the edge, you go down to the center, you look up and find everything done shifted and the center is now the edge. The rules change every day. You got to change with them. After a while, the edge starts to get worn. You don't notice it at first, but you're fraying with it. Oh no, look, we got a black man. We got a black CEO. The head of our department is black. We couldn't possibly be prejudiced. Got 214 people work at the department and 2 blacks, but we couldn't possibly be race conscious. Look, we even got a black football coach. You guys can sing. You can run fast. Boy, I love Nat King Cole. I love Michael Jordan. I just love him. We got a black guy, works in management. 24 million blacks living in poverty. But it's their fault. Look, we got a black astronaut. I just love Oprah. How do you guys dance like that? After a while, that center starts to give. They keep making up the rules as you go along. They keep changing the maps. Then you realize you're never going to get to that center. It's all a house of cards, everything resting on a slim edge. Looking back, you can see it all. Wasn't nothing solid about it. Everything was an if and when and maybe. Of course, but not really. Yes, but not really. I don't want to live my life like that, Roosevelt.
Yeah, I understand. But Harmon, look, I don't know how to say this. I'm buying you out.
You're buying me out. You're buying me out.
It's in the charter.
How you gonna buy me out? You can't buy me out of my own company.
I can force a buyout. If one of the partners jeopardizes the business by straying away from the company's initial charter, the other partner can force the sale to protect the company's financing structure. We don't have to go public with this.
How are you gonna buy me out? Where are you gonna come up with that kind of money?
Harmon stops and looks at Roosevelt.
Oh, I see. Bernie Smith. Bernie's calling in his chips. He used you for the radio station. Now he's using you to get half a stake in prime redevelopment site that's being funded by the federal government. But he still needs minority involvement. He still needs a black face on the enterprise. Like he needed minority involvement to buy the radio station. Enter Roosevelt Hicks, the shuffling, grinning nigger in the woodpile. How much you pay for something like that? After he rolls over and puts his pants back on, what you got? $100? $300? Or you one of them high-class $1,000 whores?
Whoa, wait a minute. I'm not gonna be anybody's whore. Just because shit don't go your way, you just can't go and call me out my name. My name is Roosevelt Hicks. I am part owner of WBTZ Radio, and I am not anybody's whore. Let's get that straight. I'm buying you out because you jeopardized our project when you started all this shit about that goddamn house. And you can't blame me for that.
Yeah, I see. I see now. Got you. I see who you are. Yeah, buy me out.
You're wrong, Harmon. You can believe what you want to believe. It didn't go down like that. You're the one who fucked up everything.
Bedford Hills may own 1839 Wiley, and they may be tearing it down today, but Wilkes Realty owns this office.
Roosevelt looks at Harmon and gets his meaning.
Okay, man. You got that.
Roosevelt gathers up some things from his desk and puts them in a box and starts for the door. Harmon takes down the Tiger Woods poster from the wall.
Here, take this with you.
I'm disappointed in you, Harmon. But hey, that's part of life too. See you around, man.
Roosevelt steps toward the door, his arms full. Harmon helps him by opening the door for him. A genuine and painful goodbye.
Don't take no wooden nickels.
Roosevelt exits. Harmon closes the door. He turns around and discovers the office is empty. He takes the WBTZ poster, looks at it for a moment, then drops it in the trash. He discovers the paintbrush left on the desk. He takes off his coat and rolls up his sleeves. He picks up the paintbrush and exits. Hail, hail, the gang's all here is heard as the lights go down on the scene. End of play. Yay.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Bravo.
Nice going.
Bravo, guys.
That's
Bravo.
a funny script. That's a funny script, man.
Yeah,
That
it
is
very
man.
funny.
That's a funny script, man.